Cliff notes the time, 8 a.m. on Thursday, June 16, 1904, in Dublin, Ireland, and begins his dissection.
Even Stephen gains consciousness as a fully formed individual, never haploid, only human.
Cliff identifies 18 unique perspectives. Cliff compares Stephen to Telemachus, the son of Ulysses, king of Ithaca, in the Homeric epic, the Odyssey.
His other subject of interest, Leopold Bloom, to the wandering Ulysses.
In the Odyssey, Ulysses is seen returning to his wife Penelope, represented by Molly Bloom, who that very afternoon had an adulterous encounter with her lover.
Cliff establishes the link to come between Stephen and Leopold.
Within 24 hours, Stephen, having politely refused symbolic parentage of Leopold and Molly Bloom, discovers he is no longer welcome to stay in the place he awoke.
Stephen is left to hang from Cliff as a problematically autobiographical character.
Cliff was born in Rising City, Nebraska on April 18, 1918.
After graduating from college, he worked as a college bookstore representative.
One of the contacts Cliff developed was Jack Cole. Cole's business produced study guides called Cole's Notes.
Just as Leopold serves as Stephen's father and Odysseus is Latinized to Ulysses, Cole suggests Cliff create his own.
The two men represent bondage to two powers. All of the smaller Odysseys mirror Ulysses and are directly related to these two major structuring devices.
Ulysses is tied together by scores of motifs, gestures, thoughts, and cross-references.
It is a doubling of the book, filled with false clues and deliberately misleading language.
Escorting us by circuitous ways through the various routes in and around Dublin that all begin at once.
Father Connie, we are told, reset his smooth watch. He did not, however, correct the time. Instead, he reset it.
Father Conmee walks through Clongu's playing fields twice. This is not literally true.
While Blazes Boylan is readying himself for a rendezvous with Marion Bloom.
His secretary, Miss Dunn, wonders whether he is in love with that one, Marion, while she is thinking of William Wilkie Collins' Woman in White.
That one, however, here, is really Marion Halcombe, a woman character in Collins' novel.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Moreover, Leopold Bloom does not buy sweets of sin. Rather, he rents sweets of sin. In addition, Father Cowley is not a priest in good official standing with the church. He is a spoiled priest, simply Bob Cowley, a fellow in financial straits. Bloom the dentist has no connection with the protagonist. Dennis Breen never does see the solicitor, John Henry Menton, but leaves his office after an hour's wait. He later makes a faux pas when he salutes the carriage carrying Gerald Ward instead of the carriage of the Earl of Dudley. Lamppost Farrell, who bumps into the blind stripling, is figuratively blinder than the lad.
Father Conmee's holy thoughts are juxtaposed against the sudden appearance of the flushed young lovers who cross his path.
The arc of Corny Kelleher's silent jet of hay juice is matched against the plump, bare, generous arm of Molly Bloom as she throws a coin in an arc to the crippled sailor. A skiff, the Elijah, is a crumpled throwaway which floats, voyages, down the Liffey River.
Bantam Lyons is giving out tips on the hopeless Dark Horse throwaway, false information which he originally received in the mix-up with Bloom.
At the siege of Ross did my father fall.
A snippet from the patriotic song The Croppy Boy is juxtaposed against Mr. Kernan's subservient rush to see the viceregal cavalcade.
The dark-backed figure scanning books on the hawker's cart is Bloom himself, looking for a sexy novel to bring home to his wife.
Blazes Boylan tells the girl from Thornton's to put a bottle of wine meant to warm up Molly before his visit in the bottom of the bag of fruit and to deliver it at once to an invalid.
He flirts with the clerk, he looks down into her blouse, and Cliff notes Boylan's only unspoken thoughts. A young pullet.
Yet while the aggressive, sexually indefatigable Boylan contrasts with the sensitive, passive Bloom,
who is getting his sexual pleasure vicariously by glancing through pornography, it is Bloom, the throwaway, who may at last triumph.
Lenihan tells of taking liberties with Molly with her Milky Way during an evening in 1894.
While Bloom was pointing out the constellations of the stars as the group of old friends returned from the big spread out at Glencree Reformatory.
Taken aback by McCoy's cool response to his off-colour anecdote, Lenihan is forced to admit about Bloom.
He's a cultured all-roundman, Bloom is. There's a touch of the artist about old Bloom.
Cliff notes, compassion is perhaps most evident in his family portraits.
I have no money. Stand up straight.
Give it up, Father. All the people are looking at you.
The pawn shop would not accept Stephen's books. Our Father who art not in heaven. Boody.
Dilly's purchase of a bit of hope in the midst of all the family squalor, Chardinal's French primer, Stephen thinks, I told her of Paris.
Stephen sees his sister as drowning metaphorically, just as his mother did, in fact, in her own bile.
Father Conmee may be a bit condescending, but he can only bless the sailor because he has taken a vow of poverty and has no money to spare.
Father Conmee does truly care for people, in particular about those who may die in invincible ignorance. He may like cheerful decorum.
But he is nonetheless concerned about the dark souls who will never receive baptism of water.
Cliff notes Mulligan's statement made to Haynes as they both sit drinking tea certainly proved to be prophetic. He is going to write something in 10 years.
Stephen suffers from a fixed idea, an obsession.
It was the church that ruined his mind with its doctrine of hellfire.
Haynes agrees, then ruminates that the ancient Celtic tradition does not admit of an afterlife of punishment.